In this episode, we take a concept that sounds administrative and show why it is one of the most important reliability controls in modern automation. Managing Python dependencies so your scripts behave the same way tomorrow as they behave today. Python is widely used in operations and security automation because it is expressive, readable, and supported by a huge ecosystem of libraries. That ecosystem is also the danger, because every library you install is a moving part with versions, updates, and sometimes breaking changes that can quietly alter how your automation parses data, handles errors, or talks to external services. Beginners often experience this as a script that suddenly fails for no obvious reason, or a script that runs but produces different output after an update, which is exactly what we mean by versioning chaos. A requirements.txt file is a simple, standard way to declare which libraries your project depends on and, crucially, which versions you intend to use. When you control dependencies deliberately, you turn your environment into something you can reproduce, review, and troubleshoot. That control is especially important in cloud and security workflows because small behavior differences can lead to incorrect validation, inconsistent enforcement, or silent drift. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is a companion to our course companion books. The first book is about the exam and provides detailed information on how to pass it best. The second book is a Kindle-only ebook that contains 1,000 flashcards that can be used on your mobile device or Kindle. Check them both out at cyber.author.me in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. A dependency in Python is typically a third-party package that your code imports, and it can also include transitive dependencies, which are packages your package depends on. Transitive dependencies are where chaos often hides, because you might pin one top-level package but still get different versions of its underlying dependencies if you do not manage them carefully. Beginners sometimes think that installing a package is a one-time step, but in reality, package installation is a snapshot of a moving ecosystem at a particular time. If your code is part of an automation pipeline, that pipeline might build environments repeatedly, which means it might install packages repeatedly, and repeated installs without version control can produce different results across runs. In security-related automation, differences across runs are dangerous because they undermine trust in your results and make it hard to prove consistency. A requirements.txt file helps by making the dependency set explicit so environments can be created consistently across machines and across time. It is also a communication tool because it tells other people exactly what your code expects. When expectations are explicit, they can be validated. When expectations are implicit, they become guesswork. A reliable requirements.txt mindset begins with understanding what you are trying to achieve because the right choices depend on your goal. If your goal is reproducibility, you need to ensure that the same requirements.txt yields the same installed package versions every time, which implies pinning versions rather than leaving them open-ended. If your goal is flexibility during early development, you might allow wider version ranges, but that flexibility should be temporary and intentional, not the default for automation that will run in production-like conditions. For an exam and for real operational safety, the key is to recognize that automation should not depend on whatever the latest package happens to be today. Latest might include a bug fix, but it might also include a breaking change that alters behavior subtly. A requirements.txt file gives you a place to make these decisions explicit and to adopt a controlled update cycle rather than unplanned drift. This is not about freezing forever. It is about choosing when change happens. Controlled change is the difference between stable automation and constant surprises. Pinning versions is the most direct way to prevent chaos, but it must be done thoughtfully so that you do not accidentally create a dependency trap where you can never update safely. Pinning means specifying exact versions for packages so that installs are deterministic, which makes your builds and runs reproducible. Deterministic installs reduce troubleshooting time because when something breaks, you can rule out changes in dependency versions as a cause if you have not changed the requirements file. In cloud security workflows, that certainty is valuable because you might be trying to explain whether a failed compliance check indicates a real configuration problem or a tool behavior change. The trade-off is that pinned versions can accumulate security vulnerabilities over time if you never update, because packages can have issues that are fixed in later versions. The safe approach is to pin for reproducibility and then update intentionally on a schedule or in response to known issues, testing changes before they reach critical automation runs. Pinning is not a rejection of updates. It is a way to make updates a deliberate event. That deliberate control is what prevents versioning chaos. Another concept you need to understand is semantic versioning, because many packages use version numbers to communicate the scope of changes. Semantic versioning usually suggests that major version changes can include breaking changes, while minor and patch versions are less likely to break compatibility. In practice, not every package follows these rules perfectly, but the idea helps you make safer decisions about what to allow. If you allow broad ranges that include a future major version, you are betting your automation on the assumption that nothing will break, and that bet often loses. If you allow only patch-level updates, you reduce risk, but you might also miss important features or bug fixes that require a minor version bump. A safe approach for automation is to be conservative by default, allowing only changes you have evaluated and tested, especially for packages that affect core behavior like parsing, networking, authentication, and cryptography. Even small changes in those packages can alter error messages, default timeouts, or data transformations, which can ripple into your logic. Understanding versioning patterns helps you decide where strict pinning is necessary and where limited ranges might be acceptable. The exam mindset favors predictable, controlled behavior over optimistic flexibility. Requirements.txt also plays an important role in team workflows and pipeline consistency, because it reduces environment mismatch between developers, build systems, and runtime systems. Without a declared dependency list, each person might install slightly different versions, and the same script might behave differently depending on which machine ran it. That difference can create painful debugging sessions where one person cannot reproduce another person's results, which is common when dependencies are not controlled. In a pipeline, mismatch can be even worse, because build agents might be rebuilt frequently and might pull whatever dependencies are current at the moment. If your automation is used to validate security posture, mismatch can undermine trust in the validation because results become inconsistent. A requirements.txt file becomes a shared source of truth that lets everyone install the same dependency set and see the same behavior. That shared truth is a foundation for collaborative automation because it turns environment setup from a personal ritual into a documented contract. When you reduce mismatch, you reduce the number of unknown variables that can cause failures. Fewer unknowns means faster incident response and more reliable pipelines. Transitive dependencies deserve special attention because they can change even when you do not change your top-level dependencies, depending on how the package resolver selects compatible versions. This is one reason people encounter mysterious breakage after a clean install, because the resolver may choose a newer transitive version that changes behavior. A strong reliability approach is to use a process that locks the full dependency graph, meaning you capture not only the top-level package versions, but also the exact versions of all underlying packages. Even if you are not using a formal lock mechanism, understanding the risk helps you make exam day decisions about how to control environments. The key is that reproducibility requires controlling the entire set of packages, not just the ones you remember importing directly. In security automation, transitive dependencies can be especially sensitive because cryptographic libraries and networking libraries often sit underneath higher-level packages. If a transitive update changes default cipher settings, certificate handling, or timeout behavior, your automation might fail in ways that look like configuration issues. A disciplined approach reduces these surprises by making dependency resolution outcomes predictable. Predictable resolution is what keeps requirements.txt from becoming a best effort list and turns it into a real reproducibility tool. It also helps to think about dependency management as part of your validation story, because the behavior of your validation logic depends on the versions of the libraries performing parsing, networking, and data transformation. If you are parsing JSON with a library, differences in parsing behavior across versions could change how errors are raised or how certain edge cases are handled. If you are calling external services, a library update could change retry behavior, headers, or request formatting, which could create or resolve compatibility problems. When your automation is validating cloud security controls, it is essential that you know what tool versions produce the validation result because otherwise you cannot confidently interpret changes in results. Requirements.txt supports this by making it easy to identify the dependency set associated with a particular version of your code. This connection between dependency control and auditability is often overlooked by beginners, but it matters in enterprise operations where compliance and traceability are real constraints. If you can say, this result was produced by this version of code with this version of dependencies, you can reason about the result with much higher confidence. That is what reliable automation looks like. It produces results you can defend. Managing updates without chaos requires a mindset of controlled change, where you update dependencies intentionally and validate the impact. A good pattern is to treat dependency updates as their own change event, not as a side effect of installing things on a new machine. When you update a dependency, you should expect that behavior might change, and you should verify that the automation still performs as intended. In cloud security contexts, this verification is particularly important because small behavior changes can lead to false positives or false negatives in compliance checks. If your automation suddenly reports that a control is failing, you want to know whether the control changed, the environment changed, or the tool changed. Controlled updates make that question easier to answer because tool changes are tracked and deliberate. Beginners sometimes accept updates opportunistically because it feels like progress, but unplanned progress is what creates unpredictable pipelines. A safer approach schedules updates, tests them in a controlled environment, and then rolls them out with confidence. This is the difference between maintenance and chaos. Virtual environments are closely related to requirements.txt because they provide isolation, meaning your project's dependencies do not collide with other projects' dependencies on the same machine. Beginners sometimes install packages globally, and then later they cannot understand why one project breaks another because the dependencies override each other's versions. Isolation matters because different projects often require different versions of the same package, and without isolation, you cannot keep both stable. In pipeline contexts, isolation also matters because build agents might run many jobs, and you do not want one job's dependencies to influence another job. Requirements.txt tells you what to install, while isolation controls where it gets installed, and together they reduce versioning chaos dramatically. Even at a concept level, you should recognize that a dependency list is only reliable if it is applied in a controlled environment. If you install the right versions into an uncontrolled global environment, you can still get unpredictable results due to conflicts. The operator mindset is to keep environments clean, isolated, and reproducible. This is how you prevent the same script from behaving differently, depending on what else happened on the machine. Security considerations are also part of dependency control because packages can contain vulnerabilities and supply chain risks. In enterprise and cloud contexts, you cannot treat dependency updates as optional forever because staying on old versions can leave known issues unpatched. At the same time, you cannot update recklessly because new versions can introduce breaking changes or new bugs that affect automation behavior. The safe balance is to pin versions for stability while monitoring and applying updates in a controlled way, especially for security-critical packages. This is also where least privilege thinking applies, because your automation should not require unnecessary packages that expand the attack surface. The fewer dependencies you include, the fewer opportunities there are for vulnerabilities, and the fewer moving parts there are to manage. A disciplined requirements.txt file lists only what is needed, and it keeps versions controlled, which supports both security and reliability. In cloud automation, where scripts often run with significant permissions, reducing dependency risk is not theoretical. It is part of controlling the overall risk profile of the workflow. The exam mindset will favor answers that emphasize controlled dependencies and reproducible environments rather than casual, open-ended installs. When you connect this topic to earlier lessons, you can see how it reinforces everything else you have learned about safe automation. Primitive type correctness and structured data handling depend on library behavior, which is determined by dependency versions. Validation and fail-safe conditionals depend on predictable error handling and predictable parsing, which can change with library updates. Iteration and pipeline contracts depend on stable outputs, and outputs can shift if underlying tools change their formatting or their defaults. Docker file-based environment control depends on knowing what packages to install and which versions, and requirements.txt is a core part of that. Logging and troubleshooting depend on consistent error messages and behavior, and consistent behavior is easier to achieve when dependencies are pinned and environments are reproducible. This is why dependency control is not just a packaging detail. It is a reliability foundation. When you control dependencies, you control a major source of variation, and controlling variation is how you keep automation safe at scale. As we close this final episode in the list, the main lesson is that requirements.txt is a simple but powerful way to control Python dependencies so your automation stays reproducible and avoids versioning chaos. By making dependencies explicit, pinning versions for determinism, respecting transitive dependency risks, and using isolated environments, you reduce silent failures and make troubleshooting far more straightforward. By updating dependencies intentionally rather than accidentally, you prevent pipelines from changing behavior without warning, which is especially important in cloud and security workflows where correctness and consistency matter. By keeping dependency lists minimal and treating updates as controlled change events, you balance stability with the need to patch and improve. On exam day, strong answers in this area reflect a preference for reproducibility, explicit version control, and conservative handling of change, because those choices reduce operational risk. This is the last question in your current list, and finishing it should leave you with a clear, practical understanding that stable automation depends not only on code, but on the environment and libraries that code relies on.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit baremetalcyber.com.